Golly,
Yes.
that's hilarious.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's really not
sir.
funny.
We
Welcome
are
back to the
back.
QB Huddle podcast. I'm Tim Smith. I'm joined always, of course, by my partner, Brandon Noohi. And tonight we have two very special guests with us. Of course, you might remember from a couple of months ago, our very special guest, former OU legend, Baltimore Ravens #1 pick, two-time first team All-American wide receiver, and most importantly, friend of the show, Mark Clayton. Hello, Mark. Good to see you
So
again.
good
Nice
to
to
see you
have
guys.
you
What's up,
back.
man?
We're going to get into some
My brother.
Baltimore Ravens stuff right away for you. We also want to talk about, or bring in rather, Justin Arth, folks. It's my pleasure to introduce you to a young quarterback doing all the right things as he continues to work on his career post-college. Justin played quarterback at Texas Wesleyan from 2016 to 2020. In 2021, Justin turned down my Fort Worth Bulls to play for the Peach State Cats out of the United Arena League and won Rookie of the Year. He led all quarterbacks in passing that year, folks, in his first year playing arena football out of college. He spent some time with the Tucson Sugar Skulls with my good friend Dixie Wooten, who will be on the show next week. So that's going to be awesome. Be a part of that. The Tucson Sugar Skulls are part of the IFL. He was part of the Gillette Mustangs and the West Texas Warburg CIF NAL in 2023. He is now signed with the Carolina Cobras for the 2024 season. Recently, he was an extra in an upcoming movie that is an independent film about a football coach trying to sign some kids out of college into the NFL. So, Justin, welcome to the show, man. Good to have you. Good to have you. Always good to have a young, aspiring
Yes, sir.
guy.
Both of y'all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love it.
Having me on.
So, now that we got through all the pleasantries, Mark,
Yep.
the last time we saw you on the QB Huddle was early in the season, right? Lamar Jackson was kind of muddling through a little bit, but the Ravens were winning. We kind of talked about we wanted to see a little bit more. Since then, your Ravens have captured the #1 seed. Lamar Jackson gave us all we wanted and more,
Indeed.
and it looks like he's going to win that MVP. Talk about it.
Rightfully
This
so.
is your chance to talk about it.
You know, it's obviously I'm smiling because that's my team, and I mean I've been a big fan and a big critic because as an athlete, selfishly I'm already like my own biggest critic. But when I'm watching the game, I'm definitely looking at could have did that better. Oh, that wasn't on time. Oh, whatever it is. And so then to see a Lamar in college, I was enamored at what he did in college. Ever since seeing that first high school clip of him, going and then stopping before the end zone and
Hitting
dancing into the end zone.
Yeah.
But get into the NFL, I always thought, man, I think this kid definitely has the ability to progress as a passer in the NFL in the right system and situation. And, unfortunately, fortunately, he was let loose for a season. He won MVP. After that, for whatever reason, it was like some reins were placed on him, and he wasn't able to, or they did not drop back pass as much as they did in his MVP season. And this year, with Todd Monken in the building, it's been a whole nother world, and the efficiency that Lamar has shown us, and the ability to progress and be very a trusted elite passer in the NFL has been incredible for me to watch. Company with our defense and our special teams and everything that everybody knows Baltimore does really well, obviously has made us, a very dominant team in the NFL, and to me, a favorite to win the Super Bowl. So it's been very fun to watch Lamar's progress and growth as a passer, and everybody to see him throw dimes, like straight dimes. And it's really cool. But and at the same time, I still think he still has room for improvement, and he's just getting started. I think Todd Monken coming in the building is forming a relationship that I think we'll see over the next 5 to 10 years. Probably not that long, but anyway, over the next 5 years for sure, that I think will be pretty damn explosive, and Baltimore being a contender for years to come.
Well, it's interesting because you got a tough game coming up this week now, and we're going to get into it a little bit. And I'm going to throw a number at you a little bit later on in the show that might shock you. It shocked me when I really sat back and thought about it. But it's going to be, we got a lot of fun games to talk about. Yep. Justin, who is your favorite NFL team? Who's your favorite NFL quarterback? And are they currently playing in the playoffs?
Well, my favorite two teams are out, and I kind of well, the one team, the main team, I already knew they were out by week 8 whenever Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles. But no, I grew up
Vikings fan. Okay.
I grew up a Vikings fan because my dad's from Minneapolis. That was kind of my first exposure to football, and I was a little late exposure to football. So my first experience was Brett Favre in a Viking jersey in '09.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I mean, so that's what made me a Vikings fan. My dad watched it, whatever,
That's
picked
fair.
it up. And then once I started falling in love with football, I'm like, oh, hey, we got a team here in Atlanta where I'm from. So kind of fell in love with Atlanta, had that first kind of go around in 2012, 2013 of the first kind of successful part of the Matt Ryan era, then the rebuild, and then went off to college. And that's when the 28-3 collapse happened. So I still like to say I'm a Viking and Falcon fan, but I also say this too, as an athlete, hey, I'll be a fan of anybody that wants to offer me a contract. So
Well,
those lines, as long as there's money with it, hey, I'm cool with that. But yeah, no. In terms of quarterbacks, though, I mean, I love a lot of the guys around the league. I'm a big Baker guy. I love what Baker's doing. I'm a big Matthew Stafford guy. Kirk Cousins. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Love a lot of those guys, but I think a lot of it is I admire a lot of what they do, and I try to take pieces of their game and see what I can do to apply to mine. I mean, I've always, even though I grew up a Falcon fan, I grew up loving Drew Brees. Funny enough, I now work with Tom House, who was Drew Brees' biggest coach after Brees had the shoulder injury in San Diego and revitalized his career there. So, and then Tom even compares me to Brees in terms of our stature, our mentality, our brain, and just how we act, our character, things like that. So Tom kind of calls me his mini Drew now that Drew's kind of moved on, all that. So no, I mean, Drew's probably one of my favorite of all time. And then it's nice to share a birthday with guys like Joe Montana and Vince Lombardi too. So those are
we're
good.
just name dropping out here today. I love it.
Look at you.
Look at
Damn,
him.
I feel old. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, you share
My
birthdays.
man said it. Favre in a Viking uniform? Oh, I feel old now. Damn.
He does.
Hey, I mean,
so
I was still
young
in like middle school when that happened. I'm just saying I got a late start into liking football.
I remember the old Green Bay Brett Favre with
Justin's
the braces.
so young, he doesn't remember Deion Sanders playing in Atlanta.
No. Deion played. I was born in '98, so
man, you watched highlight tapes. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
I watched highlight tapes.
You didn't have the shoes.
He wasn't dirt. You were certainly not doing the Dirty Bird back when that was popular. That was not your thing yet. Now we're going.
I think that's
back.
when he was born, Tim.
Let's get back to the playoff quarterbacks because no, Kirk Cousins is not one of those, and we know that Ritter certainly is not a playoff caliber quarterback this year. But Brandon, your 49ers are about to take on the Packers. After seeing the Packers run through the Cowboys like a truck stop hooker, what are your thoughts about the matchup this coming week with Jordan Love?
First of all, greetings
versus Mr. Irrelevant.
Right.
First of all, greetings, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you back on this. Man, I'm gonna take the high road here, man. They did their thing. They earned it, right? Everybody was overlooking Jordan Love. I think we all did to a degree, right? And over time, ever since the bye week, I mean, this guy's put up 25 touchdowns, 7 picks. I told you last week he was going to be hot. He's on a hot streak right now, right? And they were naive to the moment to a degree, and what I like to say, because they had nothing to lose. So they just cut it loose. I told you Dallas had the most pressure outside of the Niners, and now that they've surpassed the Cowboys, we won't even get into that game till later. I think going up to the 49ers schematically, we match up well. We're 4-0 in the playoffs against them, which that definitely helps. So them coming to us, one of their defensive ends, unfortunately, did get injured. That definitely helps us to a degree, especially being healthy. We're 19-0 when all the boys are all on the field at the same time, right? Minus Hufanga. So it's very impressive. We'll see what happens. I know we got to show up because if we have an opportunity to make a run, this is the chance to do it. I mean, no BS. No BS. It's Super Bowl or bust for us, bro. Like, bottom line.
Definitely.
Like, bottom line. We've been doing this since 2019. We feel like we have a great offensive scheme. We feel like we got a stingy defense. Now our secondary is better. That was our weekly. And now we got our boys back. Armstead, Hargrove. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's going to be a tough game, man. You better come to play, damn it. If we don't come to play, I mean, if we're down by 10 in the fourth quarter, you know what happens. 0-39 in the Shanahan era. So we got to get up, sustain drives, keep Love off the field, man, because he's feeling himself. Dude looks like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers in a mixture.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Like
sick,
call-
man.
we call
He's
him
doing
Brett
his
Rodgers.
thing.
We call him Brett Rodgers.
He's
Brett
killing
Rodgers.
it, man. He's
Yeah.
killing it. He's confident. I like his demeanor.
Yep.
I like how he really talks to the offense and defense. Doesn't matter. He's hyping the boys up. Like, again, teams like that, especially very young, they're extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous because they have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. So, but what about your Cowboys, man? Where do you go from here? Are you shocked?
Man,
I'm not.
I am
Damn it, are
shocked.
you shocked?
I am.
I'm shocked.
I see you got a Bills jersey on right now, so you done switched up real quick.
Look,
It's
look,
what-
you see this? Okay, you see this? All right, we're out of here.
He tossed
Right,
it.
we're-
What about your Romo jersey in the back?
No, Romo never comes off. the ball.
Oh, okay.
Come on now. No, let's check it out. Josh Allen. See, that's what I want my playoff quarterback to play like. When you're in the playoffs, damn it, I want you to play like Josh Allen played. What night was that? Monday afternoon.
Monday.
That
He
was
did
amazing.
it. Mm.
He put on a show. He was absolutely unstoppable, and I loved every second of it. But you asked about the Cowboys.
Yeah. What about that?
I am shocked,
Talk to me.
right? But I didn't have a single nerve in my body about that game until they won the toss and decided that they wanted the ball. And I thought, do they know something I don't know? They just took the ball against our defense first. Are they stupid? They're not stupid. They walked right down the field and
plays.
scored a touchdown. They walked the dog
Plays.
right down the field. And at that point, we were down 7-0. And I felt, okay, it's only 7 points.
Yeah.
7 points is not going to win the game. By the way, I'm at the game, 50-yard line, and I am 25 rows below Jerry Jones. So I can clearly see him and Steven watching the game right at their
Right.
level.
Everybody ain't able, MC. Everybody ain't able.
Well,
You hear
luckily
that?
for me, it was a gift. That I was taken to the game. My wife and I were taken to the game by Jack Henry, who was one of her students in dance. So he was gracious enough to take us to the game. But I tell you, I spent about 2 quarters just looking right up into that box with my arms out, like, Jerry, what are you gonna do, bro? Jerry, what are we doing? What are we doing? And people were laughing, and they thought I was hilarious. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was
You should have
really
filmed
upset.
that, man. You should
I
have
was
filmed
trying
that.
to keep it together so I didn't get kicked out of the stadium, man. I was so angry.
No.
But when we went down 14-0, I told my wife it was over. And because we hadn't come back from behind all year, much like the 49ers, can't seem to
You're
do
right.
it. Not sure if the Baltimore Ravens are going to be able to do it or can do it, because I don't think they've been in that position a lot. So
You don't know either,
but
right?
I know damn well the Cowboys can't do it.
Time in the NFL, we've been behind the least amount of time in the NFL. We don't
Exactly. So
We ain't built either like that, MC.
listen, Cowboys aren't built to come from behind, and you could see it. Dak started running around in the pocket in circles, throwing like he had his eyes closed, and some of it was early play calling. It was a mess. I thought Mike McCarthy got out of what we normally do, and then for some reason we played a hellacious amount of zone. And when it's 3rd and long, and I see Micah Parsons dropping back into a deep zone, I said, what in the hell are we doing, man? Like, no, go get Jordan Love. Go get him. And what happens? He rolls out to the right. He's got it all day. He hits a guy 25 yards downfield, and that sets the tone for that drive. And in my dream scenario, Coach McCarthy is gone, and Jim Harbaugh is the new coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think
But
that's
he
going to
can't
happen
pick the
by any
groceries.
stretch.
He can't pick the groceries.
I know.
If
I
he
don't
can't
think we're
pick the
gonna beat Jim
groceries, man,
Harbaugh.
it's
People
going to be
are talking
hard.
about Bill Belichick. I get the culture. I don't know that he's the answer.
That's a terrible match made in heaven with Jerry, man.
And I'll tell you
that's
what.
just terrible.
As much as Dak played well this year, and as much as he improved throughout the season, and as much as he played great in the regular season, we got the same Dak in the playoffs that we always get. And at this point, after 8 years and seeing the same playoff Dak year after year after year, I'm ready to see what Trey Lance has in the tank. So if we're going to keep Dak, I would like to see a major restructure like all the great ones did, and you're not one of the great ones, so get your ego out of the way. You make enough money as the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, right? Take a pay cut, build around you, and open up the competition in training camp. And let's see who the better quarterback is.
So you say he should lose his job
Earn it.
alone off of this
I didn't
this
say
game?
lose his job. I said re-earn his job. Put some pressure on this dude because there's no pressure. You go out there and lay an egg, and what's your response? Well, nobody's going to want to see us next year. Well, I heard you say that for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel
enough
bad
is
for
enough.
y'all, man. I really do. And I feel like this is one of those things that this trend that we're going to see. I'm predicting it. You're going to see these top quarterbacks who are getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars restructure their contracts for the benefit of the team.
Yeah.
It's
You
going to
have to.
happen. You have to. Think about it. What did Dak lack? It's not all on Dak.
It's not
He
all
lacked the
on that.
run game.
Yeah, there's no
He
run
lacked
game.
the run game.
At all.
And a defense that could stop a run game.
Yeah, where's your linebackers? Why Michael Parsons is out of position, bro?
That's insane.
Yeah, our whole defense was
He's
out
a
of position.
4-3 guy, and you can't
on
keep him
Sunday.
in space. You got to just
Well,
rush him all the time.
And
You're wasting his
I'm
talent.
to say, I do think Matt LaFleur had some good things to counteract Micah Parsons.
Sure.
Running
1,000%.
play action fakes right at him and things like
He
that.
gets washed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The 49ers
and-
really laid out the book, just like much like they did for the Eagles on how to beat them. They really laid
Well,
out the book on how to slow down Michael
Same
Parsons.
system. Go
Yeah.
ahead, MC.
No, I was saying when you're playing Bell and Curse as your linebackers.
They
Yeah.
too light in the ass, bro. They
Bell's
too light in the
about the
ass.
size
Let's
of
just
a
call
strong
it. Let's
safety.
call it what it is.
Yeah,
I feel
Mark,
like
you're a
Michael
receiver.
Parsons is out of position.
Let me ask you, you're a receiver, Mark. Does Bell give you any fear going across the
I
middle
would
whatsoever?
happily crack down on Bell, Curse, any of them. Like
Yeah, it's
no,
exactly.
yeah.
Can I
I
ask
don't
y'all
know.
this?
We had chances to
So,
get linebackers in the
linemen-
offseason.
yeah, tight ends or linemen, they're in la la land with those guys. I was always like, man, they got to get beefier at that second level. I mean,
I agree.
These teams, like, you got to
Be able to stop the run.
somebody got to come downhill and make somebody think about it, make a lineman think about it. And they're not going to do that. They're not doing that.
Now can I ask y'all this, man? Because I've been thinking about this.
Ask.
Are they wasting Michael Parsons' talent?
No,
You don't
I
think
wouldn't
he's
say
a 4-3 guy, needs to be in space, a linebacker, can move around? Why won't you just blitz him on third down? Why do you always have to have him on the line in the trenches?
I don't like him always being on the line. I do like that we
Can you move him around a little bit to showcase his
do.
ability?
But
He's
we
too
do.
talented.
We get him on the
He's
inside,
everywhere,
which
I don't know.
is okay. I mean, I don't know.
I think
I don't-
They
don't
run
think-
right at him.
I don't get the feeling he wants to be here.
Yeah, I don't have his diagram. I mean, we don't have it, but I'm sure if we went through and looked at how many times he lined up, at end, over the center guard, or at backer, or
Mhm.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he got a fair share of reps in that second level and getting a head start, blitzing and just wrecking shit.
Yeah, the only other thing you hope for is that Steve Spagnuolo becomes the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys and starts playing some like rotation type coverage stuff to start moving Micah Parsons around, like crazy stuff like that. But no, I think Dan Quinn's done a good job at using Micah Parsons and not wasting talent there. I mean, I just think when teams run on you, it forces you you can't pin your ears back and get to the quarterback. And then when
I understand that, but he gets washed. He gets washed.
Right.
He gets
He
held
gets
a lot.
washed.
There's also no really
Against
other-
every
there's no
good
good
lineman.
threat. There's no-
You got enough D linemen to make that work, man. Come on, Justin. You got something.
Yeah,
I mean, they got to
He got something.
The defense looked a lot different, and a lot of us were ready for Van Der Esch to not be on the field anymore. But when I look at some of the film from the other day, man, it's the IQ, and a lot of it changes when you have a really smart linebacker back there for Micah, and you could see that Bell was out of position 90% of the game. He was running left when the ball carrier was going right so often, and he was talking about getting washed. He was getting eaten up by the center, then the guard, then the offside tackle was coming and cleaning him up. Like
he's not trying to fit. He's not trying to fit in them holes. Like he's not trying to.
Not at all.
Fit.
So he's not that hole fitter, bro.
Space.
Like no, he wasn't. No, not play after play after play after play after play.
See,
he's the type of guy that you'll take somebody else to fit that gap, so then you can make him the free player.
Yep.
see, I hear that, but I also feel like he's such a talented player and he moves fast laterally. Why not keep him in space?
I agree.
Like at least 60% of the time, okay, third down, okay, let's pin our ears back. Go get him, big dog. Let's not keep our best player on the field in the trenches every single play.
Michael.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like Micah and
That's
Bell.
coaching.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
That's coaching.
It just is what it is.
Yeah,
You
So
need to go get a big back.
Let's get off the Cowboys because
Nah, we on them. Come
There's
on.
no reason to talk about them anymore.
Derrick Henry, I
Let's
guess.
break
it's
down.
gonna be a long off season.
King
Let's
Henry.
break down the wild card weekend. Mark, I'm going to start with you.
What was that?
CJ was at home. CJ Stroud taking on the veteran Joe Flacco. You played with Joe Flacco, your teammate out there, having a great heck of a fourth quarter season. Did you see that coming where CJ was going to play that much better than Joe and get the dub?
Man, somebody posted a clip. It was pretty funny. Or not even a clip, it was an image. And it had Joe with his Browns uniform on. And then, like, him tearing the Browns uniform off. And it was a Ravens jersey up under it. I'm like, that's awesome. That's exactly what it looked like.
Oh, Joe.
like he was done. And it was like he gave them cookies and flour and all the sweets. And then he took them away. I couldn't believe it. And Joe's personality is so he's so nonchalant and then relaxed and and at his age where he's at now and what he's doing, like he could throw a pick and come to the sideline and like nothing ever happened. Aaron McNair was like that, which I absolutely love.
Next play.
It was great. It's next play, God. Next play.
Short term memory.
It was like next play, and every next play was not a good play, and it got bad.
Damn it.
Watching that was tough.
Damn it.
Yeah. Also, at the same time, watching CJ was phenomenal.
Tricked off my parlay.
That kid, did he? Oh, man.
He played like a seasoned veteran, didn't he?
Them and the Cowboys. Tricked off my parlay.
He is elite, an elite passer, an elite arm, an elite anticipator, an elite whatever it is.
He's got it up here.
He's got it. Like,
he's got it. And it's only going to get better. Damn.
And it's only going to get better. So them strolling into Baltimore this week, as we'll talk about it, it's like, whew.
Right?
He's going to look a little different than he did earlier in the season, I'm sure.
We have not.
Hey, he didn't throw no picks. He didn't throw any picks when he played.
Do this or look like this in the playoffs since Dan Marino. I mean, that's how long it's
Lie
been.
again.
A rookie play like this since Dan Marino.
You just forgot about last year what Brock Purdy just did. You better stop.
Brock Purdy
you better stop. You better stop disrespecting my guy.
Brock Purdy didn't finish. He didn't finish.
Oh, he had an elbow. I understand that. But CJ's getting started. What happened with Brock's first playoff start? 4 TDs, no picks. Don't worry, I'll wait.
We're not talking about Brock. We're talking about CJ and Flacco.
Don't just throw Brock bad, man.
You can't deny Brock's Purdy.
You know I'm going to stick up for my boy, man.
It's true. It's true. Justin,
tell him, Justin.
Did you get a chance to watch the game? What was your impressions of particularly of CJ as a rookie going in there and being unfazed by the moment?
Yeah, CJ is a calm, cool, collected guy. I mean, he's grounded. Nothing seems to faze this guy at all. I mean, his ability to be able to sit in the pocket, take the hits, be able to deliver strikes whenever these 350-pound dudes are bearing right down your gun. I mean, it's like, the dude was unfazed, but I've seen it before. I mean, I'm a Georgia college football fan. Like, I saw him do it against Georgia last year when he played for Ohio State.
We look very good.
So, I mean, this kid is legit. And I mean, I'll even give Bobby Slowick his flowers too. I mean, I think the ability to move the pocket and slow down Cleveland's pass rush, which has been so well too, to go ahead and open those throwing lanes and just kind of different things of kind of Shanahan style offense, because obviously Slowick's part of that scheme, to be able to kind of do things that Shanahan does well to make some high percentage throws for CJ too. But at the end of the day, CJ had to go make those plays, and the dude's legit. Like, I love CJ, love what he's doing. And I think he's only going to continue to get better. But I think the one thing that separates him already is the fact that he's already here. Like, the mentals are already there for a 5, 6 year, 7 year seasoned veteran in the NFL.
Absolutely.
The fact that he's only going to get more game reps, more time. And he's got these young core receivers with him. And I mean, Slowick maybe even stays for a year or two before becoming a head coach somewhere else. Like, the Houston Texans for the next year or two looks scary, especially if CJ continues to develop the way I think he will.
So the Houston Texans actually, for the first time, deserve to be in Texas along with the Dallas Cowboys, because they've actually won more playoff games than the Dallas Cowboys in the short time that they've been here, or the same amount. I think it's 3-3. So I never wanted the Texans here, but looks like they're here to stay and they're good. Brandon, talk to us about Flacco. Flacco goes in. He's hot. We're all on the Cleveland bandwagon. We think we're going to get to see Joe Flacco go back to Baltimore. Man, talk to us about his mindset probably after that game. But what went into a 2-interception game and a pick 6 at that?
I mean, those things happen, man. We all know Joe's a gunslinger. I mean, he's going to die on his shield. He's going to try to get that offense going. As we know, even prior to the playoffs, he was throwing multiple pick games. It just got put aside because they were winning, right? So let's not forget that. Exactly. So there's a huge dynamic here, especially going into a hostile environment. Houston Texans, DeMeco Ryans, C.J. Stroud. You didn't see C.J. Stroud before, even though David Mills did have a really good game, through 2 TDs, no picks, right? But the Browns blow him out at home, right? This is a revenge game. They messed up my parlay. But I will say C.J. Stroud is what I call, he's a thermometer. He's not a thermostat guy. The second he enters, that shit raises, right? He's playing at what I call also controlled chaos. He's very calm. He's very collected, but he's an assassin. He has an assassin's mentality. That throw across to Dalton Schultz when he moved in the pocket and threw it across his body, and it just drops in the bucket and he gets smoked. Aren't those the best plays as a quarterback? When you step up in the pocket, you get knocked, and then you make that dart, and then the defensive line like, damn it. You'd be like, hey, second too late now.
Yep.
That's one, right? I just felt like the kid was so confident at what he did. Almost now, player. And so you gain a respect from the defensive line. He's not afraid to get hit. I love how he galvanizes his guys. He always keeps God first. He's very humble about things. He's had a rough background. So to see him come in and flourish just with the Houston Texans is such a win. I think DeMeco Ryans is the coach of the year. You got to give it to him.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm with you on that.
Like you took the second pick. You had 2 great drafts, right? By the way, that guy who came over, I mean, he's a pretty good GM. But I will say just what they're doing right now. I mean, they have nothing to lose, and just going into Baltimore, damn.
Yeah.
MC, this is a team that has nothing to lose.
Yeah. Neither do we.
You know what I mean?
Y'all
got everything to lose. Y'all got everything to lose, bro. You know Lamar got to get. Lamar's got to get to that conference title. You know he does.
He does.
I love Lamar, but he's got to get there.
Both teams got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think it's going to be a great game. I think CJ's in a different level right now. Will I call him elite?
Yeah.
He's got elite ability, but we all know, that 2 to 3 year mark is where you can really start to sit in on things, because just how things could be really great the previous year, it could be a shit show the next year, right? Yes. So how do you handle that? And I feel like he's handling what he's doing very well. Just continue the course, man. That's it. He's doing phenomenal.
So, Mark, talk to us from an NFL perspective here. Matthew Stafford going back home to play the Detroit Lions, where he spent a lot, most of his career, leaves and wins the Super Bowl, comes back now, is playing. Goff is sit there, and he's got to bring his old team in and play against the guy that replaced him that, nobody wanted Goff not too long ago. Yeah. Man, talk about that. Is that as big as what we made it going into the game for both guys?
Most definitely. It meant more to Goff because of the order of events. And and Dan Campbell, like, obviously we know how.
God, I love that guy, man.
Love Dan Campbell.
There wasn't some said about this before that game, and those guys were playing, for Goff, and everything that transpired. You're crazy. That meant a lot, and so that game was the closest one. Was that the closest one? I think that was the closest.
Yeah, 1 point.
Sadly, I was like, man, can we get more close games? Like, God damn. Anyways,
it was beautiful, man. It was a fun game to watch.
It was such a good game to watch. But I know that game meant a ton. And Detroit, everybody knows Detroit's history. Everybody knows, they're the whooping boy of everything. And I'm happy for Detroit and everything that's going on as a fan, as a football fan. So, and I like Goff from college, and so it was really cool to kind of see that. And Dan Campbell, I watched the first Hard Knocks or whatnot with them, and got to get a feel for how he is as a man, as a coach, and how the team was taken to him, and just everything he was about. Like, I'm all about. I would love to play for Coach Campbell. Like,
Absolutely,
couldn't
Yeah,
man.
pass up
yeah.
anything.
That,
But,
100%.
and
that was
so just
definitely one
yeah,
of the best games of the weekend, and it was
yeah,
that first. I guess that first half really was a quarterback clinic between both of them, just kind of going back and forth, body blow.
yeah.
And then in that fourth quarter, it's like, oh, Goff is about to have a Brady moment. Oh, Stafford's about to have a Brady moment. Oh, Goff is about to have a Brady moment. But the defenses on both teams really clamped down, and you got the sense like, we got your back for both quarterbacks, right? And the
Yep.
Lions happened to have the lead, and man, it was such a cool story, such a cool game. Brandon, you're a guy that you've played against teams as a quarterback, and then went and played against that team again as a quarterback, as a visitor, or that team coming back to you, and now you're on the other team. So talk to us about that emotion. Is it different getting ready for that game? Is there more preparation, or do you just kind of let your mind go? I know I've been there, so I know my take, but what was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's wow. I didn't know you were going to go down memory lane here. I signed with Southeastern Oklahoma State. You know, I played there for 3 years, and I was even the field goal holder, the backup quarterback. There was 8 guys, as you know. You go in college, you think, oh man, there's 2 guys that are signed. One this guy and this other guy from Lufkin. Okay, great. Well, it's like 8 other guys there as you step up. Plus, you got veterans like Colby. We played golf with him, and Colby was a veteran I really learned from. But I had 3 great years there, man. And unfortunately, I had to transfer, but it was for the right reasons. I wanted an opportunity to start. You have blood in your eyes, Tim. And that is exactly what I projected last week with Jared Goff. You guys were all on the Rams. This was all the Stafford. The comeback kid comes back home. Yeah, right. Like, I was like, this kid got dumped. My conference, this is how they thought about me. And I'll just be honest. And I got a great relationship with Southeastern and Coach Baxter. But at the time, Coach Richardson, they allowed me to transfer in the same conference because they didn't think I could beat them, right? And it wasn't about beating them. It's just getting an opportunity. I knew what I was. It's like, hey, man, just give me an opportunity. Well, the time we met, we ended up beating them 42-6, and I ended up having a National Player of the Week and all this other crap. But it was just like one of those, you got to stick it to them. It didn't go through my head as like, oh my God, this is my team. It's like, hey, if you deliver the mail, you take care of business, things will take care of itself. And these were some of my best friends on the other side that I'm playing with. And I know they want to whoop my ass just as much as I want to whoop theirs. Right? I mean, but at the end of the day, man, the guys were happy for me. I mean, here's how bad it was. It's kind of funny because it was 42-6. We come back in. The head coach that let me go to the other team in the same conference offered me 2 full boxes of pizza, and I was eating it. I was eating it in the locker room, right? So that's so funny to me.
Man.
But it's a revenge game, man. And what Goff did, I love it because he got kicked to the curb for a guy who is more talented than him. But they thought he was going to go to Detroit and the career was over. Well, you got a head coach that'll make you run through a brick wall for him, right? He's a leader of men. I love what you said, MC, about Dan Campbell. Damn, I'd love to play for a dude like that. That's the type of head coaches you want, man, because he's all in for you. When they keep going for 4th, he believes in your ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. It doesn't matter how Detroit defensively isn't very good, but they held one of the hottest teams in the NFL that was on a run offensively to 23 points. That's amazing. And that's also scary. So going into this week, man, I feel it's good. I love Stafford. He made some crazy throws, man, but it's the Lions' time, man. Let them have it. Goff did it. I love it. Thank you for that prize pick, Jared Goff. You won my fantasy this year. Let's go.
So back when I was in Chicago, I played for the Kane County Eagles for years, and I was a receiver for a long time, and then I tore my knees up, and I retired from football, and then I came back and went back to my roots, playing quarterback with a lesser tier team, and worked my way back up. Ended up playing for a team called the Racine Raiders. Had a great season the year prior. Touchdowns. I mean, I threw like 23 touchdowns that year. The next year, Kane County says, hey, come play for us again. You can come play quarterback for us. Great. Well, throughout camp, they make me the number 2 guy. We get into our first preseason game. Our first guy's stinking it up. They don't go to the number 2 guy. They go to the number 3 guy. And the number 2 guy, me, was on special teams. I played on kickoff that night. So that was my last game playing for the Kane County Eagles, and I went back up to Racine. Well, not too many weeks later, Kane County's coming up to play us. And my dad is an assistant coach on Kane County. This is the last time my grandparents ever saw me play. They're at the stadium. We're at Racine. There's 8,000 people, no exaggeration, for a semi-pro game. I mean, they packed the house in Racine. Shout out to the Racine Raiders. They just won the GDFL this past season, which Noohi and I won together with the Thunder. So that's quite a big deal. At any rate, the stands are packed. People are going crazy. We get the ball first. First play of the game, I throw a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown. And we ended up losing the game. But the first play of the game, I throw a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown.
You got some film on that, bro?
Bro,
you got some film on that?
I might
I need some film.
I look over to the other coach, right? Coach Keith Hack.
Air miles.
Shout out to Keith Hack. Throws his clipboard down. Tim effing Smith throws the clipboard. It bounces. Shit's going everywhere. And my dad's in the corner secretly doing like this. He's like, that's my son. That's my son. But anyway, we lost the game. They were a much superior team than us that night. But anyway, they had Sam Clemens as their quarterback. If anybody knows who Sam Clemens is, he was on Hard Knocks with the Dallas Cowboys. And he ended up on the last day cuts. And he played at Cal, actually. Really good quarterback. Ended up playing for the Chicago Rush. Much better than I ever was. Kind of like you, Brandon, about your size, rocket arm, and wicked smart. Best quarterback I ever had a chance to be a backup to. So
nice. Now let me ask you this: did you have blood in your eyes? Did you have blood in your eyes?
I was ready for that game. I'd never been so locked in for a game.
Revenge,
like,
bro.
You didn't want me. You didn't want me to play quarterback for you. I'm going to make you wish that I was your quarterback.
MC, did you ever play the Ravens?
But that's okay.
Nope.
Did you ever play the Ravens? Nope.
No.
Man.
Justin, how about you? Did you ever have an experience like this?
150 plus and 2 tugs, easy.
Yeah.
Revenge.
So talk to me after this NAL season, because I got the team I won the Rookie of the Year award on for a non-conference charity game. So we're playing.
Oh, and Pete State is in the chat right now talking about how you are the QB1, like you're the guy. So they're ready for you. They got all the film.
Justin's in the house.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I believe it's week 6 or something like that. Get to play in my new home against the old home. So that
Will you have blood in your eyes?
I mean, they treated me well, so maybe not necessarily the blood in the eyes, but I'm gonna definitely go put up a couple points on them.
I'm gonna say it for you. It's on.
It's on.
I'm gonna say it for you. It's on.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
At that point, it's just like being up on little brother.
One non-conference. There you go.
Yep.
Let's get on to maybe the biggest mismatch quarterback-wise in this playoff in the whole thing, which was Josh Allen versus Mason Rudolph for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know if anybody expected Mason to put up any type of fight. He looked pretty terrible. He probably was put out the worst performance of all the quarterbacks over the weekend in my eyes, and Josh Allen was absolutely unbelievable. I will talk about him in the next segment a little bit more. But Mark, let's take it to you. Did anything that you didn't expect out of that, or did you expect to see what you saw from a mismatch standpoint?
I expected it to be worse. I think Mason made some plays through the air that
he did a good job. He wasn't bad.
Yeah, I would say because for what was it? Has it been 2 games, 3 games that he's been playing 4 games? I don't know.
Hey, he's been playing well.
Yeah, he's been playing well. He's been playing well
than anybody else in Pittsburgh.
Right. And so, to me, I thought, it was a solid game, and Buffalo had to put the game away. It wasn't just a walk in the park. And so, no, I was not thoroughly impressed, but it was a good game for Mason.
Okay. Justin, what did you think coming into that game? Did you think the Steelers had a chance, or was this your lock of the weekend?
Yeah, this was definitely my lock of the weekend, that Buffalo was going to extend this game and run through it. I mean, I thought the key to the game was whatever team was going to be more physical. And obviously, we know with the Steelers, they can't really do much. Like offensively, they've struggled all year. They had to fire Matt Canada. They went to Mason Rudolph to kind of start being able to throw some deep shots and open up stuff in the middle of the field. And then finally get back to truly running the football in an efficient way. But no, it was one of those things where I looked at like Josh Allen and his physical style of play, and then his ability to then make all the throws with the arm strength that he has, the accuracy that he has, and then Mason Rudolph, who has played well, but being put in a different type of pressure scenario where, yes, Buffalo had some injuries on defense, but this Buffalo Bills team is way better than what you've got on your offense there. And so it was just one of those things that I saw Buffalo pulling away late regardless, and in a way, that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, literally.
True. Noohi, I'm gonna go a different way with you because I think we all feel kind of the same way. But did Mason Rudolph do enough for the Steelers to move off Kenny Pickett and keep Rudolph as QB1 going into next year?
Yes.
Ooh, I like that.
In my opinion, yes, he has. I mean, he's a veteran. I mean, here's the thing. They only outgained him by 50 yards, Tim.
Yeah.
The difference in the ball game was 2 turnovers versus none. Yes, Josh Allen's a freak. The real Josh Allen showed up. Oh, my Lord. Right? Oh, wow. Now, Mason Rudolph wasn't bad, man. He was 22 of 39, 229, 2 TDs, 1 interception. He kept fighting back. They just needed to establish the run game better. 8 carries, 38 yards. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. That's not successful. I said him and Mason Rudolph and Josh Allen, they're very similar in stature, but that's about it. Right? Josh is a freak.
Yeah,
okay.
Really
but I think moving forward, I think you got to look at Pittsburgh. Okay. Do you have Mason Rudolph? At least you're confident in him as a number 2.
Yep.
Why not go get Russell Wilson?
You got to keep him on the team, right? Ooh,
why not go get Russ?
I like that.
Wow.
Why not?
I like Russell.
Give him a coach that is going to have his back. He's a defensive-minded coach. He's not going to be in his ear this whole time. He's going to let Russ be Russ, right? We understand.
Very Pete Carroll-ish, doesn't it? It feels like it could be Seattle all over again.
It really could. It really could. Yeah. Hey, do your thing. We're going to run the ball. We're going to protect you. Don't worry. You got 2 good receivers outside. You got a good tight end coming back. We'll see what happens.
Can we remember in Pittsburgh that Najee Harris is on the team, number 22? I mean, can he get some carries throughout the night?
Yeah. I think once I saw the – Go ahead. I think once I saw the field conditions, I knew Buffalo was going to roll them. I mean, that was actually perfect field conditions compared to what the Chiefs had to go through.
Yeah, the field wasn't
the Eagles.
It
looked like they were in Tecmo Bowl. They were going so slow.
Right.
So, Mark, we're going to go to you for this because these are your guys. 2 Oklahoma quarterbacks. We had the Oklahoma Bowl here Monday night. Baker versus Jalen. Cool. I got the chance to see Baker play in Arizona against Kyler Murray, which was a lot of fun. So anytime you get to see these OU quarterbacks go at it, tell me your impressions last night. To me, it looked like one quarterback wanted to move on, and the other guy didn't really care. How did you feel last night?
Yeah, I felt great. I mean, I had Baker in that matchup. Tampa Bay. I'm a Baker guy.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah, Philly. I mean, I just couldn't trust it. I didn't believe that Philly figured out all the problems that they had for the last 5 games or 6 games, whatever it has been. And so going to the game, I was just like, well, look, Tampa Bay is in a really good spot. Baker's hot. I love Baker's charisma. I love everything he brings to the table. And I think he'll be healthy. And so he'll be able to get the ball down the field to his playmakers and they'll take control of this game. Philly's defense is not going to stop the run. They're not going to really stop a whole bunch of anything, which is insane to think with that roster.
That D-line, man.
That D-line,
that blows my mind.
That's been mind-boggling. Anyway, so no, the game, to me was, I think 31-9. I didn't think that would be the score, 32-9, excuse me. But I feel like Tampa was going to take it.
And they did a lot of that without Mike Evans being a huge impact last night. I think at one point in the fourth quarter, he only had the 1 catch.
Actually, early, 2 big drops. So they went to him early and down the field to stretch the field, and they did stretch the field. But he had 2 drops early. but it didn't need it. And then they had the rookie speedster make a huge play that really, I think, just blew the game open.
Oh, that was such that little catch and run.
A little comeback. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the thing. I mean, that pretty much ended the game, right? That kind of told the Eagles, you're done.
Put it on ice.
But like you, I mean, I've been on the Baker train all year, so I was really excited to see him. And he's not healthy. I mean, he's out there getting beat up. I mean, and he took couple hits to the chin last night, but he's like the that Energizer Bunny guy. He just keeps
He's a dog, man.
No
He's a football player. He's a football player. That's what Baker really is a football player.
Did you watch the game, Justin? I mean, you said you're a Baker guy, so I assumed you were looking forward to that game last night. Tell us, what was the breakdown? How did Baker have so much success, and why did the Buccaneers just roll the Eagles last night?
Well, I mean, it's kind of easy when Philadelphia's defense hasn't been able to have an identity all season. But Baker was able to attack the middle of the field. They were able to run the football fairly well with Rachaad White to open up then the deep shots to your Evans and pushing the field down the perimeters. I mean, and then obviously Baker's the type of dude, because we talk about toughness and we talk about grit with Baker, he's the type of dude that's going to sit in the pocket and take those shots, take the licks. I think Philadelphia actually had a quote unquote better pass rush than that I've seen in a while. And they actually got to Baker at times, but he was able to step up, make those throws, take the shots, and keep it rolling. I mean, and the plan of attack to be able to put those corners out on an island and use those guys to use tendencies and force guys all over the place. It was great. I mean, I think Baker, any game that Baker plays is going to kind of be a dirty, kind of not necessarily like a Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford type game where you look at it and it's like, oh, that's perfection in terms of quarterback play. But you watch Baker and you're like, well, it may not look perfect, but it's still pretty damn good. And so, I mean, Baker just gets it done. Yeah. But then you look on the other side with Philadelphia. I mean, I'm on another show, Goal Line Stand. That's typically Tuesday nights and stuff too. We're to tomorrow night too. So
nice.
But one thing I've been saying about Jalen Hurts in particular is there's been huge regression out of Jalen Hurts this entire year. And I said it the two times that Philadelphia played New York, the Giants. The Giants blitzed more than any team in the NFL. I want to say the number was like 64% of their defensive play calls or blitzes, more than four guys, and things like that, or at least at the times they were playing Philadelphia. And they had no plan of attack. Jalen didn't know where his hots were. He didn't those are simple things that a quarterback needs to know, especially when you're playing cover zero or you got cover one and you know that the defense is pinning their ears back. You got to know where your running back hot is or your tight end little screen pop pass. But again, Tampa's one of those teams that blitzes just as much as the Giants do. And again, 3 weeks in a row, or not necessarily 3 weeks in a row, but 3 out of the last 4 weeks, they had no plan of attack for it. And they had, I mean, the one touchdown that Jalen Hurts threw was kind of the one big play that I was like, oh, well, okay, first off, it's in the red zone. But secondly, that was truly okay. Yeah, you actually had something to counteract a blitz there. Well, why can't you translate that to when you're on your minus 40 or the plus 40? So there's been huge regression with this team in general. But it starts to scare me with Jalen Hurts and how he is. And I'm like, okay, this dude's got a lot he's got to now progress on. Now, I'll hand it to him. He played with a broken middle finger. It's hard to grip a ball when you got a broken middle finger in your throwing hand. So he played a hell of a job just to play the game that he played. But there is mental regression there that does need to be fixed this offseason if he's going to continue to be the star level of player that Philadelphia needs to now take. But now there's huge regression on the offensive line now going into next year, or a big hole they got to replace with Kelsey retiring.
More Kelsey.
So there's a lot of questions for Philadelphia this offseason, and I think it all starts with Jalen Hurts.
All right, you heard it here, NFL GMs, UFL GMs, AFL GMs. Justin knows what to do to beat the blitz, so bring this kid in, give him a shot.
DC, you know it. Yeah, let's go.
Brandon, where were you at, man? I know you and I both kind of love to watch the Oklahoma quarterbacks go at each other because they're always, in college, they're always fantastic. Obviously, we know Jalen Hurts. I've been on that bandwagon all year. Justin, that Jalen just keeps going backwards. What were your thoughts going into the game? Did you expect Baker to just go out there and do his thing like he did? I mean, he was 22 for 36, 337, 3 TDs, no turnovers. That's pretty pretty good looking game for an NFL playoff game.
Yeah, it's a very solid game. I mean, they outgained them in total yards of 150 plus. To me, the story of the game is they sustained drives, and Philly didn't. Right, 23-12 first downs. Hurts wasn't that bad. Now I know that we're painting this picture here, but he can still complete 71% of his passes, 250, no ints. But he didn't run for anything. And when you got 15 carries for averaging 2.8 yards, that's not playoff football. You can't sustain drives. You're not going to be anything. I thought, Devontae, he had a great game. But one thing I will point out, Justin, and to your mention as far as regression, I don't like this dude's attitude.
Yep.
Adversity doesn't build just character, fellas. It reveals it.
Yeah.
Reveals it. And I thought the way he handled even getting taken out of the national championship game with class, cheering on his teammates. Okay, now you got the 170 mil. You're sitting on the bench like this. Come on, bro. Come on. Where's the body language? Like, we're going to call it out. Let's call it out. I mean, you may be a chill dude, but at the same time, let's be fiery, man. We're down. How can you pick them up? You're the franchise.
Yeah, you gotta be
right.
Able to flip the
be
switch.
careful what you ask for, because you just might get it.
Yes.
And hopefully he takes this and continues to grow. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't. But I think there's some of the traits even he can probably attest to that I could be a better leader in that situation. I don't need to just go sit on the bench by myself. I need to interact with my teammates. If we're down by double digits, I need to go pick my boys up because they lean on me. Because when the games are winning, who do you see in the camera in the middle of the huddle talking? Jalen. All right, then. If you're going to be about it during the W, you got to be about it when you're losing. Period. Fall on your sword. I want you to die on your shield. And that's the type of quarterbacks I love to see. And I know he's capable of that. I feel like Baker Mayfield is that.
Yeah.
He may not have all the tools, but he is that. He's going to die on his shield.
Yeah.
You're going to have to kill him to take him out. That's just how he plays. And I'm happy for him.
A.J. Brown is arguing with him for a few weeks. A.J. Brown's not even in the building last night. He's at a boxing match. And last night his tight end was chewing him out. And so if guys feel like it's okay to chew out their starting quarterback, there's got to be an issue there, right?
It's not even that. I think it's a way to handle it. I think it's a way to handle everybody. If you say, people are a fool to say you got to treat everybody the same. Even in Bill Parcells' 11 Commandments of a Quarterback, know your players, know who's good, know who needs encouragement. You don't know what kind of day they have, man. You got to be in their corner, because they're going to ride for you. You got to get 10 other guys who are ready to run through a brick wall for you. So you got to understand their tendencies. AJ may be a little emotional. Let me talk to him like this. Let's grab him. Let's not get the same emotion like we're Nick Saban. You're not a head coach, bro. You got to be a leader of men, period. These are men. These are fathers. You know what I mean? They got to go home to their wives and their kids and deal with this. They're trying to figure this out. And you over here like this. I'm going to just call it what it is, man. It's body language. I don't think he lacks the talent. You got to be assertive, man, to get to know your guys. Like, it's all sunshines and rainbows when shit's popping. When shit hits the fan, you're 1-6 in the last 7 games. We'll find out really who you are. So, I hate to be hard on him, but it is what it is.
It got real somber in here real quick. Let's talk about what it is. That was great to see.
Ladies, I love you, Jalen. I hope you do great again. I hope you watch this.
If you didn't watch the Chiefs-Dolphins game, just for the sheer fact that it was like 2 below zero, 7 below zero, and then a wind chill of -30, just that alone was entertainment factor enough to turn the game on. But to see Mahomes and the Chiefs look like Mahomes and the Chiefs again, and we talked about it last week. We talked about it on the couch, Coach. We thought, hey, at any point in time, Mahomes can turn it up, and Andy Reid can get that team going, and they're going to look like the Super Bowl Chiefs again. Now we know the Dolphins have had trouble with good teams. They have not, outside of the Cowboys, they hadn't beaten a playoff team
like the Cowboys of the AFC.
Yep.
Exactly. So, I mean, it was like, woo, are they going to do anything? And we expect the Chiefs to win, but the Chiefs looked like the weather didn't bother them. The moment didn't bother them. The season's behind them, and this is what they're here for. Mark, your impressions. Can an NFL team go from the mediocre regular season and then just flip that switch at playoff time and be back to Super Bowl caliber? Because it looks like they've done it.
Of course, absolutely. It's playoffs is a whole new season. That's you get to start over in a sense, and so and with everything that the Chiefs have, with Spagnuolo, that defense, and then the best quarterback in the NFL, and Andy Reid and his genius of a play caller,
right?
Of course, of all teams, they definitely have what it takes to not only turn around but go on and actually win the Super Bowl. 1,000%.
Right.
Oh wow, that's the AFC to me is so intriguing.
I won't be shocked, Tim.
So many people could win this thing out of the AFC. Justin, let's get your take on this. You get Mahomes. Let's say you've had a mediocre season. You got receivers dropping the ball. People are questioning you, and now you're in the playoffs. Are you ready to just turn it on as QB1 and go, it's okay, this is what we do. This is the playoffs, and we're going to go out there and play great. Can you turn it on just like that?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, if you're in the postseason, record 0-0, and you got to go win 4 games. In their case, to go win a Super Bowl. So, hey, we want to know this week. It's a 1-game season. Being able to flip that script and be able to do that, I mean, Patrick Mahomes in his career has never not been in the AFC Championship, and I've learned as a fan to never doubt Patrick.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I've been
So
around
impressive.
Patrick at APEC and things like that out in Fort Worth and all that too. Patrick's a type of dude that whenever you get to like competitive juices flowing, things like that, that dude flips a script, and he's the ultimate competitor. And so to be able to know that this Kansas City Chiefs team has him on his team, I had no doubt that they'd be able to do that. Obviously, you look at then Miami; they haven't beat a good team all year. Then they go into these elements. It's a Miami team going to these elements. Any team in Miami is never going to be able to do that. So it was a tough ask for them to do. If it was 30 degrees, maybe it was a little better or maybe easier for the offense to throw. Velocity of the ball for Tua was definitely affected. And then it seemed with Patrick, you could see a little bit of it affected on some throws, or at least the grip on the ball and throwing some screens where you had to have quick grip, things like that. But overall, Patrick wasn't affected by it at all. I still have questions about the Chiefs in general because this Chiefs team is different than the Chiefs teams in the past. Like, this is a team that the defense and Patrick Mahomes will take them to the Super Bowl. It's not necessarily that this offense is going to be so good. The defense is going to have to play well, and they're going to have to carry them, and then Patrick needs to make the plays that obviously we all know he can. But at the end of the day, it's Patrick Mahomes, and you still have Rashee Rice, who's stepping up and becoming the true playmaker that they need at receiver. You have Travis Kelce, who has proven it, has done stuff in the league, and is reliable, has that chemistry with them. And then, again, I say it more often than not, but you got 15 back there under center, and you have a nice running back in Isaiah Pacheco with Clyde Edwards-Helaire being able to spell out some stuff in the backfield. And he's a powerful, explosive runner too. So this team feels like it's more built for the playoffs, to where if they can be physical, they can offensively, and then defensively. I mean, that team can.
Number 2 defense. Number 2 defense in the league.
Defense wins championships. Offense puts asses in seats. So
it's been said since I've been a child watching this game that to win in the playoffs, you have to run the ball and play defense. The Chiefs did both of those things. But Brandon, let me take it to you. Man, your receivers are dropping balls all over the place. You can't trust anybody. And in the biggest game of the year, you go to your rookie, and that's who you trust. And your rookie produces for you over and over and over again. What goes into that? You think that was the work during the week? Was that planned, or did that just kind of happen, do you think?
I just think that's a confidence thing. I think Rashee Rice has really earned his trust over the past weeks. He was even on my rising player on the couch coach probably 6 weeks ago. I mean, he's put up some good numbers. Is he inconsistent? He probably will be. He's a rookie, right? You're going to go through your ebbs and flows, but I think this also allows Mahomes to be a better leader, right? Not everybody's the same, right? And you may get a guy who's a burner or who needs those encouraging words. I was very impressed with Mahomes. And I'll say this, you can never count out that dude. You just can't. He's a gamer. And he's never had a top 3 or top 2 defense in his career. If you always notice with Mahomes in that 5-year stretch, that defense would get hot right at the end. right? They'd be a little flaky, and then they get hot. They've been hot through the entire year, my man.
Yep.
And they can run the ball with Pacheco. They outgained them. The time of possession, they controlled it. Again, it's another one of these things. Hey, can you sustain drives in the playoffs? That's the biggest factor. If you go to all these games that are won, each of these margins are crazy of how long they can sustain drives versus the other team. So I think Pat Mahomes, for one, man, yes, obviously it's horrible conditions, but damn, that dude can throw in bad weather. And he didn't flinch. And it looked like Tua was out of Miami, and he looked like he just ran into an iceberg, man. It didn't look good for him. He never looked comfortable.
He never did.
I understand it's conditions of the game, but you had an opportunity last week to play home, so there's no excuse there. If you're going to be paid a $60 million, $100 million guaranteed quarterback, I expect you to go into the frozen tundra and deliver something better than 7 points. I'm just call it what it is.
That's fair enough.
Because he's looking for a contract extension. Am I right?
Yep.
All right, then.
He's going to need it. I think they'll still end up paying him. But hey,
this is what I pay you for, though. These moments, not the regular season.
We're going to get on to our next. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the QB Huddle tonight. Be sure to subscribe. The 100th subscriber will get a Fanatics NFL jersey of your choice. You just send Brandon and I the picture with you being the 100th subscriber. Now, I'm
not getting you a damn thing. I'm lying.
We're going to move on pretty swiftly through a few things.
I kid.
We actually have a real huddle here tonight. We've got 3 quarterbacks and a
MC was a quarterback. Hold up.
So we could what?
MC was a quarterback. Hold up. He bought Arlington. Hold baby.
Okay. All right, so we're going to take it all the way back.
How you think he saw the field?
Down.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Kyle Bowler dropped the other one though.
So now we've got a true huddle here, and this threatens to be our longest show ever. So we're gonna slide through some stuff. We're gonna go to the on fire segment. Usually we would break down a couple guys that were on fire. I'm gonna throw out some names. After I throw out some names, you guys tell me if I missed anybody and who do you want to talk about the most. So let's just throw out these names and some stats. CJ Stroud, 16 for 21, 274, 3 TDs, no picks. Jordan Love. Can't believe I had to say that. 16 for 21, 272, 3 touchdowns. Those numbers are eerily similar, by the way. Kind of really odd. I mean, maybe the script writers really put in work this week. Josh Allen, 21 for 30, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns, 74 more yards on the ground, and had the longest run in NFL playoff history from a quarterback. I think that was 56 yards. Which was an amazing run if you don't see it. What's that?
Getting another touchdown on the ground too, so 4 total.
Tell him.
I said 1 touchdown on the ground. 1 touchdown. That was that one. And then Baker Mayfield, 22 for 36, 337, 3 touchdowns. Again, none of these guys had a turnover. Did I miss anyone, gentlemen? That was simply on fire. I didn't think I missed anyone, but I might have.
I mean, you could say Aaron Jones. I mean, I don't.
Aaron Jones was balling, but
Yeah.
I know you want to stick to QBs.
Oh,
so
that's
we're
what
gonna
the
stick
couch
to
coach
him.
is for. That's what you got to tune into the couch coach to listen to us talk about running backs and linebackers and DBs and receivers.
I'll still give Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff their flowers. I mean, I think. I mean, Jared Goff and what he was able to do. The stats don't necessarily show what role he played in the game, and I think we've already talked about that enough. But I mean, that was in reality probably the best quarterback play in terms of a game in general. But no, I mean, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, head over heels over anybody else, and then Josh Allen's just a monster.
Yep, I think Stafford had the most no-look passes in the game again for the weekend. Just saying.
Stafford's amazing.
He is so sick. Hey, breaking news, gentlemen! Jim Harbaugh is interviewing for the Atlanta Falcons job.
There you
go. Heard it first.
Wow. Okay. If he's going to do all this interviewing, if he's not going to stay at Michigan, which I want him to stay at Michigan, I sure hope that Jerry picks up the phone and makes a call.
Well, they already interviewed him, apparently.
Who?
Jim Harbaugh, the Falcons.
Who interviewed Jim Harbaugh?
Blank.
Oh
The
no,
Falcons.
I want the Cowboys to interview him.
Jerry
Anyway.
not gonna do that. He not gonna let him pick the groceries. Sorry to get off track, but it just popped up.
We're getting off track. Well, breaking news. There we go. So now we're going to go rapid fire. All right. Because there's some questions that this week I need answered. Last week, Brandon needed some question answered. This week, I need some. I'm going to ask this question and I'm going to let each and every one of you answer it because I don't know if I have the answer. So I want to know. So I'm going to start with you, Brandon. Is Brock ready for the big stage? And this is simple yes or no. We don't need a whole Brock Purdy dissertation. Is he ready?
Yes.
Mark Clayton.
Yes.
Justin.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Uh-oh.
Tell it.
We're gonna go back and look
Crazy
at
ass question.
Okay.
Before you go to your next question, let me
say
say this, though. I like being on this show more than my other one because I got a bunch of Brock Purdy haters. I'm the only
Get me on there. Get me on there. I'm going to light them up, too.
Yeah, we like Brock.
They better have their notes ready.
Mark Clayton. Can Jordan Love duplicate his success that he had in Dallas this weekend in San Francisco?
No.
No. I do want to know why. Why not?
I think the 49ers front seven is a lot more stout than Dallas, and they'll be able to cover on the back end and only have to rush 4.
Oh, okay. Justin.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, I think there's a chance Jordan Love can, but I would lean on the side of no.
On the side of no. And Brandon, I know what you're going to say, but just put it out there in the universe.
No.
No. Okay. Justin, are the Chiefs back? Or are the Dolphins just that bad?
I don't think the Chiefs are back, but again, I'm never doubting Mahomes.
Okay. Brandon, Chiefs back? Or are we getting fooled?
I will never doubt Mahomes. Yes, they're back.
Back. Mark Clayton.
Definitely back, but losing.
Back.
Losing.
That makes this
But they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose this week, but they're back. They're gonna take that L this week, but they're back.
They can't be back and lose. That.
Hey, why not? Yeah, they can.
It's just a matter of how the game ends.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
Sure, they can.
Yeah.
All right. I want to start with Mark on this one. Should the Dallas Cowboys allow Dak Prescott to hit the free agent market?
Yes.
Okay. Justin.
No.
Oh, Brandon.
Absolutely.
I say yes as well.
Yes.
I say if somebody else wants to pay him $50 million,
go entertain that.
I'll be happy
if you
to
can't
go
take a
over
pay
and
cut,
help
we
him
can't.
pack. Bro, if somebody else wants to pay him that kind of money, I will go help pack his house for free.
That's insanity, Justin. Doing the same shit over and over and expecting a different result.
Right?
I know.
Okay.
I know.
You better get a run game. If he restructures, I'm okay with that. Restructure. Get your money.
I want to see him restructure and be able to get more financial flexibility for the Cowboys.
Exactly.
But
Restructure.
Who are you going to go out and try to fill that seat? I think at this point, your option is to go try to fill that seat. Dak Prescott's the best
minimal.
option you got.
Yeah, it's minimal.
All right. Well, we could have a whole conversation on that. Actually, I've got a lot of answers to that question. In fact, one of those guys might be already on the roster, number 15, Trey Lance. So we don't know. We don't know, Mark. We don't know. We haven't seen the kid
I don't know
play.
about that, bro.
Maybe not. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. But let's move on.
I don't know about that.
Justin, should Mike McCarthy be fired? Yes or no?
Yes.
Brandon.
No. No.
Mark Clayton.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have said no
Tim.
for the fact that he got beat down by Green Bay, and I don't know how you allow that to happen as the head coach.
Pretty embarrassing.
Embarrassing. That was very embarrassing.
I don't know how you move on I've seen coaches get fired for less.
Yeah.
I saw Lovie Smith get fired in Chicago for a lot less than what I saw this weekend out of Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but he black.
What's that?
I said, be black. Doing black guys like that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man.
I'm good on Mike McCarthy at this point. Okay. Brandon Noohi. Can Golf and the Lions win again this weekend?
Hell yes.
Duplicate it. Yes.
Hell yes.
Justin.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Mark Clayton says yes. Yes, they can. Okay, we're going to get into those matchups here soon. Brandon, which quarterback has the most to prove in the divisional round this weekend?
The most to prove, Lamar Jackson.
Mark?
I agree. Lamar Jackson.
Justin?
Lamar.
I agree with all of you. Now, last week I said that this playoffs that Baker Mayfield had the most to gain or the most to lose. I think that he gained it by winning that game last week. I think he gets his contract.
He did. He gets his contract.
I think
Give him top 15 minimal.
I agree with all of you. Not that Lamar Jackson will be in trouble by any stretch, but if he goes out and loses this game, that's a narrative, right?
That gives CJ more playoff wins than Lamar.
Yes, because they both have one right now, and CJ's a rookie.
And Brock Purdy got more.
Okay,
already he got more.
Mark.
Yeah.
On that vein, which quarterback will have the best performance this coming weekend?
Best performance this weekend.
This is fun. I like these rapid fire questions.
Oh, that's good. Damn, that's good.
This is hard.
That's tough.
I'm thinking of two right now.
This is tough. There's a lot of good quarterbacks playing at this point in the season.
That's tough. It is tough.
I'm gonna have to go with Lamar's off the couch. That's tough.
I really thought you were going to go with Lamar. I'm surprised this is so difficult for you at this point.
I have a hard time when quarterbacks have been sitting for a week. And you've been sitting for like
makes me nervous.
It does, especially through the air. I know
makes me nervous.
Well, which gives me hope. I don't know. Man, that's tough. Go Skip.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Justin.
I'll take defensive matchup alone. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is going to have the best weekend. Okay. I wouldn't sleep on that Tampa defense though. That Tampa defense is pretty good. Noohi, who's gonna play best this weekend?
Glock Purdy.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Josh Allen.
That was my other choice.
I'm gonna go with Josh Allen because I feel like this is the first time.
Brock about to light this bitch up.
This is the first time Josh Allen gets to roll out the red carpet for Patrick Mahomes, and he goes, "Come to my house." Now it's my turn.
They got a top 2 defense, Tim. I don't know.
But it's a mentality to me. It's a mentality. How many times is Patrick?
And you don't think Pat got that mentality?
I know, but Mark, help me out here. If a team just continues to knock you out, now they have to come to your house. Are you a little bit more ready for that?
Most definitely.
Yes.
100%.
Thank you.
Most definitely.
So who's going to have the best game? Did you figure it out yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Josh.
Oh, we got 2 Josh Allens. All right. Can't wait to go back and watch the tape on this one.
Yeah.
Brandon, this is going to be fun. Who's going to be poo-poo and completely poo-poo the bed this weekend?
Oh, man. Damn.
Who's going to pull a Dak?
Jordan Love.
I shouldn't have said that. Jordan Love? Okay. Justin. Who's going to poo-poo the bed?
I hate saying it, but I'll go Baker.
I don't think Baker's gonna ball.
I'm going Stroud.
Is it Welcome to the NFL Part 2?
Is Baltimore just different like that?
Yeah, they just different.
I could see that actually. In my mind's eye when you said that, I could see CJ having a really tough time.
Yes.
But I'm kind of with you, Justin. I think that Detroit defense is going to eat Baker alive this week. I think he's going to get hit a lot. I hate to say that, but he's already beat up. I think this might not be a great game for him.
And you look at my 2 picks of Baker and then Jared Goff. I look at Tampa as the most inconsistent team in football that's left in that playoffs.
Absolutely.
Packers are getting hot defensively. So
absolutely.
Would it be crazy if the I said this last night to Gretchen, if the Buccaneers won and the Packers won and the Buccaneers got to host an NFC title game?
That'd be insane.
With Baker Mayfield after he went on the podium and said, "I'm not Tom Brady, but I'm going to do Tom Brady like stuff." That's awesome.
Yeah, if Baltimore's not in, I'd go to that game.
You'd go to the game? I'm going with you. Let's jump on a plane. Let's go. I'm with
Baker! Not so fast. They got to come through Santa Clara.
Okay. Last question. And we kind of talked about this earlier, but Mark Clayton, should the Eagles look to move on from Jalen Hurts? Was he too exposed this year?
Ooh, no.
Oh.
No.
It's 1 year. No.
1 year. Okay. Justin.
No, but I need to see improvement next year.
Got to, but not yet.
Not yet.
I
Brandon?
can 1,000% agree with them.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
yet.
As a Cowboys fan, please sign Jalen Hurts to a 10-year contract. That's all I got to say about that. Let's get into getting ready for some of these storylines this week. Right? Let's start in San Francisco. The high draft pick, Jordan Love, sat for 4 years behind Aaron Rodgers, has to go play mystery relevant. Brandon, what does that do? I mean, does that change the mindset for Brock? Does that change the mindset for Love? Or at this point, does it matter where they were drafted? Is that not even a story?
I don't think it matters where they're drafted, but it does matter to Brock to a degree because he was better than all of those quarterbacks that were taken in front of him, and statistics have proven that. He's got a great body of work, already had 2 playoff wins. I think he goes into this with the right mindset. I think Jordan Love, he's going to have a real test because he did struggle versus good defensive teams this year. He has, and he's completed under 60% of his passes, actually, for top 6 defenses this year. So I feel pretty confident in Brock managing the game, doing what he needs to do. You don't need to do too much. Run the damn ball. Take care of your assignments, right? You don't got to wow me. We know you're a great player. Don't try to force the hand. But this is really on Kyle Shanahan, man. This ain't about Mr. Irrelevant. This ain't about a high draft pick. This is about Kyle Shanahan.
Okay.
Is he going to get too cute?
So
Don't get too cute now.
It's not about the quarterbacks. It's about the coach.
No, it is about Kyle.
Okay.
Kyle is 0-39 when trailing by 7 points or less. Come on now.
All
you know
right.
what I mean? So I think right now, take care of business. Mr. Irrelevant gets it done and continues his story. Hopefully it's a Disney story at the end of the year.
I love that.
We'll see. No
Justin,
guarantees.
Mahomes is on the road. You said, I'm always going to trust Mahomes. Mahomes is on the road going to Buffalo for the first time in his career. And Josh Allen, who has been knocked out by Mahomes multiple times in Kansas City, gets a chance to host this game. Tell me what's going on in the minds of both quarterbacks leading up into this game.
Well, Josh Allen is wanting to tear him down, step on his face, and go say, hey, I'm going to the AFC Championship. And in your first road playoff game, you ruined your streak of 5+ years in AFC Championships.
Sucks.
Yeah, sucks to you. So Josh Allen's more than likely coming in more motivated than anybody. But then again, nobody can flip a switch like Patrick Mahomes. Like I just talked about earlier, it's postseason. Now they're 1-0. They're moving on. You're 0-0 again. You got to go win this week. And then you look at this type of rivalry between the two, this budding rivalry between the two young quarterbacks in the AFC. You're looking at it as like, okay, this is your, in my case, because I'm a big baseball fan, this is your Braves-Dodgers, or what everybody expected Braves-Dodgers would be, where, okay, you're going to face each other for a chance to go to a Super Bowl every year. Like, this is the type of game that you guys want to see play. Everybody wants to watch this game. And in reality, the person that wins this game could win the Super Bowl. So it's one of those that I think both quarterbacks are going to show up, but both come in with different motivations. Patrick is legacy and continuing to win, as opposed to Josh Allen is, I've been stepped on enough. Let's go step on somebody else for a change.
Okay, let me ask each of you, rapid fire style, not who's going to win the game, but from a quarterback standpoint, who has the edge? Justin, start with you. Who has the edge this week? Is it going to be Allen or Mahomes?
Allen.
Brandon?
Allen.
Mark?
Allen.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Now, Mark, in that, Lamar Jackson takes on rookie C.J. Stroud, and we've already talked about it. They each have the same amount of playoff wins, yet Lamar Jackson is a $260 million MVP. What's going on in Lamar's head? Is there more pressure on him than CJ going into this game?
Definitely, but I believe just knowing CJ and how he is and how he carries himself and what he's shown us, he's putting as much pressure on himself as anybody to win now. He wants to really win the Super Bowl right now. But yeah, there's a tremendous amount of pressure on Lamar. We know the storylines. One MVP in the books, another one coming, and if he can, get all these accolades and everybody know that he has the highest potential as a quarterback in the NFL, and say, his upside is astronomical. And here he is year after year losing, in the playoffs. That's not going to look good. And I know he wants to change that bad.
Right. Fair enough. I agree with you on that. Guys, our stream kind of stopped, but we're going to go ahead and finish up. I don't know what happened to the stream there. It just kind of stopped on me, but we're almost done. So we're just going to finish up real quick because we're just to our picks, which is going to be awesome. I was going to bring up Baker and Goff. That's another great storyline, y'all. 2 quarterbacks no one seemingly wanted a couple of years ago, right? Both former number 1 picks, and they're both playing each other now for the right to go to the NFC title game, which I think is a pretty outstanding story for both of those young men. So let's get into our picks for the week, and then we'll be able to kind of wrap this up. But since we know who's going where, Mark, we'll start with you. Baltimore's taking on the Texans. Who do you got, and why?
Baltimore, because it's Baltimore. I think they're just the more complete team.
More complete
Ditto.
Brandon's easy. He said that's easy. Justin,
Ditto.
who you got?
I'm rolling with Lamar, bro. Ditto.
Exactly.
I like
same.
CJ. I'm rolling with Lamar.
I'm rolling with the Ravens. CJ Stroud does obviously have the chance to go blow up another game, but you look at this secondary, they've given up just as many touchdowns as they have interceptions. So, and then the pass rush that the Ravens have, if they can get to Stroud and force 1 or 2 interceptions, it's game at that point. And then we all know the Ravens, how they can run the football, and Lamar in the second play and all that. All you got to do is control the game if you can force 1 turnover.
Yeah, I think we make a lot about CJ's first NFL playoff game because he did play in the college playoffs. He did play against Georgia, which is that year was essentially an NFL team. He got to play the game at home. I think this is going to be a different environment going on the road in a hostile environment, playing against the MVP. I just don't see him having as much success, in that defense for Baltimore is incredible, and we know they're going to be able to run the ball. And probably be able to keep CJ off the field. So when he is on, I think he's going to have to press a little, and that's not good for a young quarterback. So I'm with you guys on that. Baltimore gets the win here. Brandon, I'll start with you for the obvious, but San Francisco's taking on Green Bay. Who are you rolling with?
Man, you know what's going on next.
Niners.
The gang, baby.
Justin, who do you have?
I have Niners. I think the Niners play ball control, keep away and away, keep this aggressive love offense off the field, make sure they can stop the run with Aaron Jones.
Sir.
Run it with CMC. Don't make Brock Purdy be the hero yet.
Thank you. Don't do too much.
Yeah.
Chill. I love it.
I'm going to say this.
Here you go.
This 9-8 Packers team reminds me of a 9-7 Giants team that beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl.
No.
I say that because I watched the team walk into AT&T Stadium with no fear, taking the ball on the coin toss. Who nobody does that anymore, right? They took the ball on the coin toss. I saw a team that was very athletic, that was very confident, and I'm going to say that this is going to be the upset of the weekend.
It's
and
Dallas, bro.
Go into San Francisco.
It's Dallas in the playoffs.
Bet 100 on it, Tim.
I will not
we are
bet
not
100.
Dallas.
I will not bet 100.
Take that $100 too. You want
What's
to
it?
donate?
Yeah, you want to donate too? Give me that 100.
No. That's my upset pick of the week. That's my bold prediction. I'm going to loan.
He wants me to suffer on the next show like he's suffering right now.
Let's go.
But I damn sure ain't switching jerseys.
Justin, Lions, Tampa, in Detroit. That's going to be, I think that's a Sunday afternoon game. Who do you got?
I got Lions. It's not going to be as bad of a blowout as it was in the Week 6 matchup, but it's going to be probably a very similar game. Lions by score.
Okay. Mark, who are you rolling with in this one?
I'm taking the Bucks, actually. I'm sticking with Baker. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that Todd Bowles defense does enough to keep him in it, and I like Baker.
Okay. Wow, I did not see that coming. Brandon.
Call me crazy, but they just shut their running game under 50 yards. I think Tampa could get it done.
So the Cinderella story is over.
The Detroit Lions defense doesn't scare you enough, right? They give up a lot of big plays.
Yeah.
They're actually top 3 in big plays given away and defensively, right? Think about what they do best. Big plays off script.
Here's the thing about the Lions. In order
I think
for
it could happen.
In order for Goff to have success, they have to run the football. will they be able to run the football against a team that just shut down one of the better running teams in all of football, in the Philadelphia Eagles? So you raised an interesting point, and I said this earlier in the show as a joke or what if? But now this could really happen because I'm going to be with you two, and I'm going to go with the Buccaneers too. Let's go, Baker! That would.
So you got the Lions, right, Justin? So we're not off this. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Justin got the Lions.
You know what happens when everybody picks it.
We could, folks. Baker Mayfield could host an NFC title game. That could possibly happen. In my
I'm not
mind,
mad
would
if that happens.
explode if that happens.
He would already have more playoff wins than Dak Prescott. Damn it.
Brandon wouldn't even watch that game.
And he's been on 4 teams. Nah, man, I'm an NFL fan. I'll support everybody.
Here's the best game of the weekend if you don't have a team left in the tournament. The Kansas City Chiefs go up to Buffalo. We've been talking about this game all night. This is going to be a heck of a game. Before I get there, really quick, it's going to be really cold, right? So I got 2 questions for you quarterbacks. In that kind of cold weather, how does your preparation change from a clothing perspective? If you don't wear gloves, are you going to wear gloves? Are you going to wear gloves on the throwing hand? What are you going to do? Are you going to wear more clothing? What are you going to do in that kind of cold? What do you do to get ready for Buffalo?
I mean, I'm a field guy, so I'm only going to put a glove on the hand that I don't throw with. But I'm going to make sure I'm going to have plenty of hand warmers to make sure this hand's nice, warm and grippy and all that. I mean, but then again, we're talking about how NFL teams handle their balls and things like that. I don't think that's going to be as big of a problem.
I think we all handle our balls the same, Justin. Sorry.
Hey, man, I'm in snow gear easily. Snow gear.
You wear snow pants on the golf course, so it's not.
Hey, I do not like the cold. I can play in the cold, no problem. But I got that one glove on the opposite hand like Tom Brady. It's time to go to work with the hand warmer.
Yeah. Okay.
No visor.
Mark,
fog up.
Receiver,
no visor.
Are you loading up on clothes? What are you doing?
No.
That
runs around too much.
I put some fur in my helmet though. I found this thing they cut out nice fur and they stuff it in the little crevices in your helmet and cover the ears. Money. Apart from that, some little thermal, but I'm sleeveless and
he running around too much, Sam. He gonna get warm fast. Like 20 minutes, he's good.
Right? It's making sure your core is warm.
The toes is really toes, fingertips, ears.
Okay.
Toes good. It's money.
So now that we've got that out of the way, we know what we're wearing at the game. Who's going to win the game, Mark? Chiefs or the Bills?
I got the Bills. I think it's Josh's year. I love Josh also, and I think it's his year. Bills.
Brandon?
I'm going to play spoiler.
Oh.
I'm going to say Pat Mahomes is going to go face Lamar.
Okay.
You got to go through him, Lamar.
Okay.
I think you can do it.
Justin.
Whoever gets the ball last. No, but in seriously,
seriously,
I'm going to go
KC. Okay. I'm going to go with the Bills because obviously I have the Bills jersey on. Again, I played for the Hanover Park Bills when I was 12 years old. So the Bills are in my heart this week.
Nice.
Let me ask.
You threw that damn Dallas jersey away, didn't you?
No. I have all 30 Dallas jerseys still hanging up in my closet.
Hey, Tim, I'm going to have to get out of here, but this has been great.
Well, Mark, before you go, I got one question. And then and then you can go, and thanks so much, and I'll see you on the golf course when it's not 0 degrees outside.
Indeed.
Who do you got in the Super Bowl? Because we're not going to see you on here next week.
Man, this is Ravens and Niners.
You said it was Josh's year. Okay, we're going to roll with you, though.
Mahomes.
It's Lamar.
Beat Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
It's Josh's year to beat Mahomes.
Lamar in San Francisco. Well, we will see you soon, I'm sure. So thank you for being with us tonight, Mark. We appreciate it as always.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, Justin, good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
All right, brother. See you.
Justin, you're not going to be with us next week. You've made your divisional picks. Who's going to win in the conference championships? Who's going to play in the Super Bowl?
Niners, Ravens. Niners bringing it home.
I love that y'all are going with the low-hanging fruit of both number 1 seeds. I love it. Just so you know, Justin, in case you don't watch next week, I'm not going to tell you, so you have to watch next week. Everyone knows who I'm going. I'm riding with to the Super Bowl, but I got to change my NFC pick because I had the Bills and the Cowboys. Obviously, the Cowboys
You should have known never to put your faith in them,
blew
sir.
that for me. But hey,
For
Justin,
now, you put your faith in me.
it's been a blast having you out here today, man. We really enjoyed you coming out and telling us a little about your story, and we hope to talk to you more in the off season and talk to you during your arena season or whatever team you're playing for. Know how that's going, and we want to look out for that movie as well. Tell us the name of that movie again.
Yeah, so the movie's called Signing Day. Not sure when it's coming out, but all I know is I'm the college quarterback that some high school recruit comes up to compete against. So stay tuned for whenever Champ Bailey decides he's releasing that movie.
That's going to
Sweet,
be awesome.
man.
That's going to
be looking at you. You guys got your games on YouTube too. I imagine you guys do YouTube Live and all that.
So they're all streamed on the National Arena League YouTube channel.
Sweet, man. Don't check you out.
Carolina Cobras there. First game's at the Idaho Horsemen. That'll be a nice little long flight from Greensboro, North Carolina to Idaho.
Hey, do your thing, man. Apply pressure.
Man. That's awesome. Well, we appreciate everyone that stood with us here tonight. It was a great show for our first of I guess, post-wild card playoff going into division. We've only got a couple of weeks left of the season, and then we'll be into the off season. Look out later in the week for the Couch Coach. Not sure what night we're doing that. Are we doing that Friday, Brandon?
I think we're going to do it Friday, guys. I'm going to be out of town in St. Louis, so we'll come back. We'll spit it. We got I believe we got a special guest coming, former NFL guy as well too. So we'll be there as well. So it should be a really good one.
We love when our former NFL guys come. Justin, you're welcome back anytime. Thanks.
Absolutely, man. You did great.
Oh, yeah. And I'll see you guys February 5th through the 10th because that's next time I'm heading out to Fort Worth. So,
okay.
Yeah, you make sure
Sounds good, man. Lock in with us.
Link up with us for sure.
Do you golf?
We'll see you then.
I do.
What's that?
I do.
Bring your clubs. It's on.
Oh,
yeah, bring your clubs. I'll be cleared by then.
Serious.
We can play some golf. All right. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube page because you need to know when we're going live, and look for Brandon and I to be live throughout the weekend, throughout the playoff games on Facebook through Brandon Noohi's page. Thanks again for tuning in. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the QB Huddle podcast. See ya.
See ya.